A banned R&B song that radio wouldn't even touch still sold over 1 million copies. Wait, what? A love ballad recorded in a garage by teenagers outsold big label hits, and a smash was scribbled in a bathroom between shows.
Oh, well, goodbye.
Not wild enough? One of the biggest R&B anthems started as a gospel hymn about Jesus before it was flipped into a chart topper about a woman.
Yeah, she's all right. She's all right.
1955 wasn't just another year. It was the year R&B ignited rock and roll, crossed color lines, and changed music forever. Number 12, Hank Ballard and the Midnighters, Work With Me, Annie. She was banned on half the radio stations, and that only made her stronger. This flirty, ferocious jam was so scandalous in 1955 that DJs were afraid to spin it. But it refused to die. Why? Because Hank Ballard's smooth, mischievous voice slid over a sly shuffle beat that listeners couldn't resist. The song blurred the line between teasing and outright trouble, and that mid-song call and response, "Work with me, Annie," was basically forbidden fruit on wax. How did that play out? It shot up to number 1 on the R&B chart for 7 weeks, selling over 1 million copies without mainstream airplay. Ballard had basically hacked the system. What censors called indecent, he turned into pure groove. You can practically see teenagers crowding jukeboxes in smoky diners, grinning because they're in on the secret. And if one band record could spark rock and roll's wild side, the next hit showed how a Chicago group made clean fun just as unforgettable. Number 11, the El Dorados, At My Front Door, Crazy Little Mama. Nobody saw this coming. A bunch of Chicago kids drop a debut single, and suddenly it's blasting out of jukeboxes everywhere. And snap, that opening vocal harmony hits like a wink and a grin, and you can feel the room sway. The El Dorados mixed sweet doo-wop charm with street corner swagger on At My Front Door, and the result was irresistible. By late summer 1955, it was sitting at number 1 R&B and even cracked the Pop Top 20, putting VJ records on the national map. How? The secret sauce was Perkle Lee Moses Jr.'s playful lead vocal, teasing that crazy little mama with just enough mischief. With its wink and grin lyrics and bouncy groove, the song became a jukebox staple coast to coast. VJ Records, the tiny label behind them, suddenly had a national hit. The El Dorados never caught lightning like this again, but for that one summer, they owned the sound of Chicago R&B. From that surprise triumph, we slide over to New York City, where one singer's nickname turned into his ticket to immortality.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest. And yet, you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent, but it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music. It's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 10, the Cadillacs, Speedo.
Call me Speedo, but my real name is
Earl Carroll was just another young tenor trying to get noticed until he sang this.
I'm known for pretty women, and that's all that.
One record later, everyone knew him by a single word, Speedo. The Cadillacs took a simple nickname and spun it into 2 minutes of pure New York swagger.
No, he don't never take it slow. Well, now they up and call me Speedo, but my real.
You can hear it in the bopping backbeat and tight harmonies. This isn't just a love song, it's an attitude.
Call me Speedo, but my real name is Mr.
Carol belts. They often call me Speedo with a grin you can hear, and suddenly, every kid on the block wanted a cool alias.
Some may call me Mo, some may call me Joe. Yes, ma'am, I'm Speedo.
In late 1955, Speedo raced up to number 3 on the R&B chart and even broke into the pop top 20, busting through racial airplay barriers as one of the first doo-wop hits white stations couldn't ignore. The Cadillacs never climbed this high again, yet for one shining moment, a doo-wop song about a guy named Speedo had America singing along. And while the Cadillacs ooze city cool, down in New Orleans, a singer named Smiley was busy turning heartache into a party. Number 9, Smiley Lewis, I Hear You Knocking. New Orleans in the 50s had its own groove, and Smiley Lewis captured it perfectly.
I hear you knocking.
Triplet piano chords, a rolling bass line, horns that almost laughed through the pain. I Hear You Knocking turned heartache into something you could dance to. Recorded at Cosimo Matassa's famed J&M studio with producer Dave Bartholomew, this track distilled the Crescent City sound into 3 unpolished, glorious minutes. By 1955, it peaked at number 2 on the R&B chart, and even though Smiley never became a household name like Fats Domino, his influence ran deep.
Because your love's no good.
His soulful, cheeky delivery on this song was so infectious, it spawned hip-hop and rock covers for decades to come. Most listeners didn't even realize those were Smiley's echoes ringing out. He made heartbreak sound almost fun. It's the kind of record that made people in New Orleans smile through their blues.
I beg you not to go.
Still, if Smiley kept things smooth, Big Joe Turner was about to take things to a whole new level of loud.
Gotta go back to your used to be.
Still with us? Which song has you hooked so far? Let us know in the comments. Number 8, Big Joe Turner, Flip, Flop, and Fly.
Rocking chair. Well, the blues over
By 1955, Big Joe Turner was already a veteran shouter, but on Flip, Flop, and Fly, he sounded brand new.
Give me one more kiss, hold it.
The song opens with a blast of horns that practically bounce off the ceiling, and a piano riff struts in right behind them.
Dude, well, she's so smart. Now flip, flop, and fly.
Then Big Joe's booming voice commands the room, turning a simple blues into a rock and roll inferno.
I got so many women, I don't know which way to jump.
Listen to how the band hits those accents. It's a call and response between Turner and the horns, each egging the other on.
My way back home. Now flip.
It tore up the R&B chart, hitting number 2, and even cracked the Pop Top 30. It proved that jump blues could cross over to the rock and roll crowd. You can imagine teenagers in 1955 losing their minds dancing to this.
Don't ever leave me, don't ever say goodbye.
Big Joe's time at the top was brief as younger rockers took over, but Flip, Flop, and Fly remains a time capsule of pure, unfiltered fun.
Bulldogs sitting on a hollow stump.
Now, if that was R&B turned up to 10, the next song slowed the tempo, but cranked the emotion.
I call my baby, tell him on my...
Number 7, The Penguins, Earth Angel, Will You Be Mine? Sometimes a song doesn't need polish to make history. It needs heart.
And evermore.
Earth Angel was recorded in a Los Angeles garage by a bunch of teenagers who had no idea they'd just defined the slow dance anthem of the decade.
Happiness. Earth Angel.
The recording is rough around the edges, slightly out-of-tune piano, earnest vocals, and a dreamy falsetto that sounds like young love itself. Maybe that's why it worked.
Earth Angel. Earth Angel.
By early 1955, it caught fire on local radio, and within weeks, it surged to number 1 R&B and into the Pop Top 10, nearly unheard of for an indie black group back then.
Will you be mine?
Picture school gymnasiums with the lights dimmed and this song playing. Suddenly, every shy teenager had the courage to ask someone to dance.
Mine, my darling dear.
Earth Angel became the blueprint for doo-wop romance, imitated thousands of times over. The Penguins never repeated the magic, but that one tender recording still echoes at proms and weddings to this day.
I'll be the vision of your heart.
If Earth Angel floated on air, the next record stomped right down to earth with a beat that didn't just move feet. It shook the very bones of rock and roll.
With you.
Number 6, Bo Diddley. Bo Diddley, and I'm a man.
I'm a man.
Rock's primal heartbeat starts here. In 1955, Bo Diddley's debut single unleashed a rhythm that would echo for decades. On one side was Bo Diddley, a hypnotic chant built on that now iconic bump beat. Then Bo flipped the 45 and delivered I'm a Man, a slow grinding boastful blues that dripped swagger. Together, these two songs were a 1-2 punch nobody saw coming. Recorded in Chess Records' Chicago studio with maracas and harmonica wailing. The sound was raw and dangerous. Radio had never heard anything quite like it. The record shot to #1 on the R&B chart with I'm a Man right behind. And suddenly every band from New Orleans to London was trying to steal that Bo Diddley beat. Everyone from Buddy Holly to the Rolling Stones tried to copy it, but here's the truth. Nobody could deliver it like Bo. He took a street corner rhythm and turned it into his personal crown. After that rhythmic earthquake, the next group proved that a softer touch could be just as earth-shaking on the charts. Number 5, The Platters, Only You, and The Great Pretender. Not one but two classics back to back, The Platters owned 1955's airwaves with sheer elegance. First came Only You, a ballad they'd recorded once before with no success.
My dream come true, my one.
In 1955, everything clicked. Tony Williams's velvet smooth lead and the group's harmonies glowed over a gentle lilting piano. Hear that lush orchestration? It's like the song itself is slow dancing with you. Only You glided to #1 on the R&B chart and into the pop top 10, proving that sophisticated doo-wop could cross color lines. Then the Platters followed it up a few months later with The Great Pretender.
Only you and you.
Legend has it manager Buck Ram scribbled the lyrics in a hotel bathroom between shows.
Magic that you do.
The result, with its theatrical flair and Williams's yearning delivery, hit #1 on both the R&B and pop charts. 2 massive hits in a row, back to back.
Like you do. And
These records made every listener feel a little more sophisticated, swaying in their living rooms as if under a chandelier.
when you are
The Platters became the definition of polished R&B, but if they proved satin smooth romance could rule the charts, Ray Charles was waiting in the wings to show how gospel fire could light them ablaze.
and I understand the man.
We're deep into it now. If you're loving this journey, hit subscribe and ride with us to the finish.
I one and only.
Number 4, Ray Charles, I Got a Woman.
Good to me. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Before this song, no one even had a name for soul music, but Ray Charles was about to change that. The secret. He took a gospel hymn and turned it into a sinner's anthem. I Got a Woman actually started as a church song called It Must Be Jesus. Ray repurposed it into a roaring R&B number about his woman, a gospel shout fused to a bluesy swing. When Charles hollers, "She gives me money when I'm in need," you hear the preacher and the rascal in every line. That irresistible groove, driven by a shuffle beat and wailing sax, stormed its way to #1 on the R&B chart in 1955. It was Ray's first chart topper, and more importantly, it was the birth cry of soul music itself. Some church folks called it blasphemy, but young listeners couldn't get enough. In one swoop, Ray Charles broke the dam and paved the way for everyone from Sam Cooke to Aretha Franklin.
Just for me. Oh, yeah.
If I Got a Woman Opened the Door. The next hit came barging through with a guitar and a grin.
The woman's face. Right down.
Number 3, Chuck Berry, Maybellene.
Over the hill, I saw Maybellene in a coupe de ville. Cadillac rolling on over the road.
It started as a country fiddle tune about a cow named Ida Red.
Rain, true to my heart, but past the lane. Rainwater blowing all on my hood, but I
Seriously. Chuck Berry took that hillbilly song, put a turbocharger on it, and gave us Maybellene. In May 1955, he marched into Chess Records with a rough demo, and legend says Leonard Chess's eyes lit up the second he heard it.
like doing the things you used to do.
They rewrote Ida Red into Maybellene, a name pulled from a makeup label, and unleashed one of the most ferocious guitar riffs anyone had ever heard. The groove gallops and sputters like a car engine about to explode, stopping and starting, while Chuck's lyrics tell a tale of hot rods and heartbreak.
Roll side to side, Maybellene, why can't you be true?
When it hit the airwaves that summer, Maybellene raced to number 1 on the R&B chart and all the way to number 5 on the pop chart, something unheard of for a black artist's debut single. It bridged country, blues, and pop in 2 minutes flat.
Started like doing the things you used to do. Cadillac.
Teenagers went crazy for it. Suddenly, rock and roll had its first highway anthem, and Chuck Berry became its chief architect.
Top of the hill, Maybellene, why can't you be true?
And if Chuck had the youth of America hitting the gas, Fats Domino was just around the corner, proving that a gentle touch could leave just as big a mark. Number 2, Fats Domino. Ain't that a shame?
You made me cry when you said.
In a humble New Orleans living room, Fats Domino tinkered out a simple, aching melody of heartbreak. So straightforward, it was genius. Co-written with bandleader Dave Bartholomew and laid down at Cosimo Matassa's J&M studio, Ain't That a Shame? Wedded Fats's rolling piano triplets to a groove so natural it felt like the music was smiling.
My chills feel like rain.
Released in April 1955, it soared to number 1 on the R&B chart and cracked the pop top 10, marking Fats's first big crossover, but not without a fight.
Ain't that a shame?
Pat Boone rushed out a bland cover that actually charted higher on the pop side at first.
Although I cry, ain't that a shame?
Boone's version may have gotten the numbers, but it's Fats's warm, lightning in a bottle recording that endured.
Although I cry, ain't that a shame?
He even let out a hearty laugh. The mid-song, those human touches won America over.
You're the one to blame.
This was the bridge to rock and roll, a record that proved you didn't have to scream to be heard. You could pour your heart out and still start a revolution.
Ain't that a shame?
Fat Domino opened the door for all the soul and rock acts to come. But one wild man from Macon, Georgia was about to kick that door off its hinges.
You're the one to blame.
Number 1, Little Richard, Tutti Frutti. It took all of 15 minutes to change the world. That's how long it took Little Richard to unleash Tutti Frutti in a New Orleans studio in September 1955. He went into that session an unknown and came out a rock and roll legend. But here's what most people don't know. The original lyrics to Tutti Frutti were so risque, the producer almost threw the song out. They called in a local songwriter named Dorothy Labostri to clean it up. She toned down the words just enough to get it on wax, and that lit the fuse. The second Richard's voice hits the mic, it's pure electricity. He hollers and whoops like a man free from every chain, pounding the piano with gospel fervor. The take they captured was raw, loud, and absolutely explosive. Within weeks, Tutti Frutti shot to number 2 on the R&B chart and into the Pop Top 20, an unheard of crossover for the time. Little Richard didn't just sing, he detonated. Rock and roll had never heard anything like it, and the world would never be the same. Little Richard opened the floodgates. Elvis and the Beatles rode the wave of that one wild scream. Tutti Frutti isn't just an R&B classic, it's the Big Bang of rock.